What's up, guys? I'm Joe, and today I'm here with some quick thoughts on some recent albums. So yeah, in case you missed the recent track roundup video, welcome back to the channel. It's been a little bit since I've posted it on here, but I've moved into a new place, as you may be able to tell if you've been following for a little bit, and we're back to somewhat scheduled programming on this channel. So what I want to do is, catch up on a few albums that have come out fairly recently, within the last couple weeks, stuff I was ready to review and get back into the swing of things with, but was a little bit delayed. So we'll talk about a couple records here. First up is Alice in Chains' Rainier Fog. This is the third record with William Duvall on vocals, and I've been a fan of those records so far. Black Gives Way to Blue had such a big atmospheric sound to it, which I thought was pretty cool. Something they somewhat continued on The Devil Put Dinosaurs here, though I don't think that second one with William Duvall was quite as effective. It did have its moments. Rainier Fog certainly feels a little bit more streamlined than that last record, a little more instantly accessible. The one I did a track reaction review to. It's definitely a song that has grown on me. I wasn't too keen on the choruses and stuff like that at first. I didn't think it sort of reached where it was leading to. But of course, as I mentioned in that video, that was just my first listen. Over time, the song has become pretty memorable and pretty enjoyable. I still love that very crunchy, plodding riff there in the beginning, and that kind of sort of carries throughout the song. Now here you hear it in little bursts, like I said, and so far under in the choruses, but everything else seems to be kind of more straight-ahead rock, and that grungy sound, obviously. Even delving into some bluesy territory with the song Drone that has a swingy, Sabbathy kind of vibe to it. Something they've tended to do on these last couple of releases, that there's like a kind of mid-tempo ballad right at like the number 4 spot. Here you have the song Fly, the last record, the song Voices, both of which I really do like. I think they really do shine in these kind of acoustic-driven songs. The vocal melodies are really top-notch and really catchy. But some of the sort of mid-tempo rockers, like Rainier Fog, Never Fade, again, while there's nothing really particularly wrong with them, there's also nothing that really makes them stand out for me. Without even really having to compare this to their classics like Dirt, you could just compare this album to Black Gives Way to Blue and realize that that record had these big, standout moments where it seemed like the album would, center upon. A Looking in View was a just massive song, just a staple to the record. Later tracks like Lesson Learned had just the very memorable hooks to them, very catchy stuff, while still delivering some heavy, grooving, rocking guitars. So overall, I definitely enjoy the record. I'll definitely be going back to it. It's just not quite there for me on some of the previous releases, so I'm feeling like a 3.5 out of 5 for this one. Up next, we have Miles Kane with Coup de Grace. Just kidding, Coup de Grace. You may know Miles Kane from his work with Alex Turner from the Arctic Monkeys in the side band The Last Shadow Puppets. That's how he came onto my radar. I wasn't aware of his solo career really before that, when they came out with Everything You've Come to Expect. That's when I started looking into Miles' solo records, and Coup de Grace is really great. I'm enjoying this one quite a lot. There's songs with a nice punk edge to them. There's songs that are more kind of, Oasis alternative sounding, I would say. Really good melody, really good sense of swagger in some of these songs, which I think Miles has kind of brought over from his work in The Last Shadow Puppets, and then even the title track, some funkier moments, which is pretty cool. So there's definitely a lot to offer on this album as far as the sound, though everything fits well in a cohesive way. Too Little Too Late, the opening, kind of just gets things going to a very rambunctious start with that punk energy, crunchy, garagey guitars. That sort of sound continues on a song like Silver Screen, and there's songs like Something to Rely On, which kind of has a Queens of the Stone Age kind of weird, eerie vibe to it. There's some really great slower moments on here. Killing the Joke is probably my favorite on the album. Just really fantastic melodies. Very spaced out acoustic guitar with these, very futuristic synths in the beginning. The chorus has a nice build to it as that chord progression goes up and up and up before resolving in this very nice melodic moment from Miles on the vocals. Same thing goes for the song Loaded, another favorite of mine. Kind of echoing more recent Black Keys bass type stuff, a hook in the chorus that's really going to get stuck in your head. And yeah, overall, just a really good album. I really like this a lot. Probably my favorite of what I've heard from Miles Kane's solo stuff. So I'm feeling a good 4 out of 5 for this record. And last up for this video, we have Halestorm's 4th studio album, Vicious. You know, I really wasn't a big fan of Into the Wildlife, their last record. It had some pretty good moments, such as Amen, or Apocalyptic, or even The Reckoning, which was a really great ballad and probably even one of my favorite Halestorm songs overall. But there's just a lot of filler on that album. They're definitely going for a different sound overall, kind of losing the energy that the band had. And if I'm not mistaken, they went for a sort of live recording style that I don't think was captured as well as it could have been. The drums sounded really flat to me. And overall, that kind of just affected the energy of the record. But this album, Vicious, definitely sees a return to their rock sound. And overall, it's pretty good. I wasn't into it very much at first, but I did pick up the CD, and I just had it in my car for a while. And after a couple listens, you know, there's definitely some good stuff on here. You know, I've never been like an album guy as far as Halestorm is concerned. I always thought they had really good songs, but there was always a good amount of filler on the records, which is definitely the case here. But the standouts are really good. You know, Black Vultures opens up the record. So much energy to it, a great vocal performance from Lizzie Hale, and just a really great hook on that chorus there. It's huge sounding. It's just anthemic sounding, which is great. The next song, Skulls, while it is kind of poppy and like the vocal delivery, I actually really like it a lot. Very heavy guitars on here, a nice groove to it. I like that, you know, very, you know, deep, heavy bridges that sort of comes out of nowhere. Uncomfortable is another good one, a nice punk energy to it. As far as the verses go, kind of channeling a sort of Joan Jett kind of feel in a way. I think the lyrical message is kind of cool. You know, basically Lizzie Hale just talking about how she finds it funny that, you know, people think it's weird that a girl would, you know, talk about sex in songs. Which, that's cool. That's definitely a message I could get behind. The problem with some of the other songs on here is that it's not really the content that's the problem. You know, like, I love bands like AC/DC where they sing about sex, drugs, and rock and roll, and that's it. And there's a lot of stuff about drugs on here, and love, and sex, of course. And I don't think there's anything necessarily wrong with a rock band doing that. I just find that there's just this weird specific focus on the idea that she can't tell if it's like the high or the buzz, or if it's love. That comes up on multiple songs on here, which gets repetitive really fast, and it's kind of strange that that same conundrum, I guess, would come up in multiple songs. I could see it in one. It comes up on Buzz, you know, is it the buzz or is it you? It comes back up on Conflicted, is it the addiction or is it you? And I'm pretty sure it pops up somewhere else as well. Which, again, just kind of a strange theme, like a specific theme to repeat multiple times. But that's kind of nitpicky, I guess. You can enjoy the songs for what they are. There are some other good standout rocking moments like Painkiller and Killing Ourselves to Live, which tie the album together pretty nicely, and the ballads aren't half bad. So yeah, this one's actually pretty good. I do enjoy it quite a bit. Definitely an improvement over Into the Wildlife, the last record. So I'm feeling like a strong 3 out of 5 for this one. So yeah, those were my thoughts on a couple of records. Look out for some album reviews coming up very soon. Some other videos going out as well, a track roundup, I got a concert review going out. And yeah, let me know what you think of these albums in the comments, whether I'm right, whether I'm wrong. And as always, thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you all next time.